The Young Turks are now derisively being called the Young TERFS. Oh man, this one's good. Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks put out a tweet saying, "Don't refer to me as a birthing person," and the left is losing it. She got 14 million views on this tweet. I say bravo, Anna Kasparian. I agree with your assessment, and I think you are correct. There are many people, conservatives, I think, like Matt Walsh has been pretty harsh on Anna, saying, "No, I'm not going to defend you," and I think Matt is somewhat wrong. But we'll talk about the nuances here. So if you're not familiar with the phrase TERF, it means trans exclusionary radical feminist. Now, the funny thing is, they call people TERFs who aren't even radical feminists. So it just basically means you're anti-trans, I guess. Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks has come out to defend Anna, and they are both getting roasted by the left and being called liars and young TERFs. Okay. Anna Kasparian is right. I am glad that she is right. Good for you, Anna. And I think the weirdest thing is that you've got people on the left roasting them as TERFs, and you've got people on the right saying, basically, you're stupid, screw off. My attitude is like, hey, look, man, if anybody says something that is correct, I will give them credit for it. If you do not give people a path to walk down towards the light, they will take the only path available to them, which is the dark path. So if Anna Kasparian does a good thing, she deserves credit for it. Now, that being said, Anna is the kind of person who has made fake segments about me, where she takes statements I've made out of context or quotes from other people that I've stated. Like, did you ever hear about the guy who said X? And they'll be like, Tim Pool said X. Like, it's insane. And I have nothing but disdain for those behaviors. But let's read what Anna Kasparian said, and I'll show you the reaction. Anna tweets, "I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, birthing person, or person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can support the transgender community without doing this ish." I believe this statement is 100% correct. You can absolutely support the transgender community without doing things like that. However, the activists don't care. And I think the reason is the transgender issue is being exploited by pedophiles to gain access to the LGBT community and resources. And because the woke left has a cult-like adherence to their social orthodoxy, they allow it to happen. Simply put. In response, oh boy, here we go. Carrie Lake says, "A broken clock." Shrug. I like Carrie Lake, but I don't see what the point of tweeting that is. What's the point? What's the point? And then Anna Kasparian responds, "I think you're an embarrassment to this country and a full-blown lunatic." Okay, well, we're certainly getting somewhere, are we? Zuby says, "Your side is going to roast you now. I hope you're ready for the tolerance." And she says, "They have a right to speak their piece, as do I." Certainly. We have this tweet from the Humanist Report. "I respect you a lot, but this notion that the mere existence of trans-inclusive terms, rarely used in casual conversations, somehow degrades women comes right out of the right's anti-trans war on women playbook. There's a reason why they're praising you for this." Anna says, "Hey, Mike, you're a guy who has no clue what it's like to have your reproductive freedom taken away. But consider what it's like to have the same lawmakers who fail to protect our rights turn around and call us people with uteruses. It's not inclusive if cis women hate it." Whoa. Now, look, I agree. But based on leftist social orthodoxy, cis women have no say. So I understand what Matt Walsh is saying. Choose your battles. Which side are you on? Adherence to social orthodoxy or principle? I've seen Anna Kasparian come out on principle and many times, and I can respect it. But too often, Anna Kasparian just falls into the tribalism. So I don't know what else to say. But we got Cenk Uygur. He's chimed in. He says, "Are people really pretending that, quote, people who menstruate is a term only used in clinical settings? AOC uses it, and she doesn't appear to be a doctor. If we all have agreement that it's not what you should call a woman in non-clinical settings, great deal, let America rejoice." You see, here's the issue. Trans women are women, and women are people with uteruses. Trans women are women, and Anna Kasparian is a menstruator. You see why people take issue with this? Trans women are trans women, and Anna Kasparian is a woman. It's not hard. But if you come out and say trans women are women, but Anna Kasparian is a cis woman, or Anna Kasparian is a menstruator, those are intentionally derogatory. You can't come out and say trans women get the preferred word and you don't without someone getting mad about it. Now, of course, Anna Kasparian's mad about it. And of course, Cenk Uygur is defending her. But I love the response. The young TERFs. That's a good one. That was a real good one. The young TERFs is right. I hope y'all enjoy your life until the right is done with you and crumples your community like a Coke can. When y'all loose, that's what he said. He said, when y'all loose, y'all's rights don't come begging for unity. Yeah, it's the funny thing about these people. They're not smart. Oh, boy. I want to simultaneously extend an invitation to the Serfs, a rather small YouTube channel, but very active on Twitter. I'd love to have these guys or this guy come on Timcast IRL. I invite them. They won't do it. I really doubt they will. And the reason I bring it up is because they've done quite similarly to what many of these people are doing. They don't actually read anything. You know what I find? I think the left gets their news from each other and the right gets their news from the news. The left gets their news from other people who have heard from other people. So it's a big game of telephone of incorrect information, assumption, and then they just assign whatever view they want to people without facts. So it's like you get a bunch of mangled, garbled nonsense. I love this. This person tweeted, F Anna Kasparian and the young TERFs. Oh, geez. The young TERFs. This guy, Aiden Comerford, says the Young Turks a month ago tweeting an Onion article mocking journalism on trans rights, and Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks today being the sort of journalist that the article was mocking. This is what trans people mean when they say F cis people. Oh, what if I said F trans people? Like neither is appropriate. How about we just don't single out a group of people because some people in that category are bad. You see, the issue is they're angry with Anna Kasparian, so they're mad at all people. Also, I don't use the word cis. It's a slur. A trans woman is a trans woman. A woman is a woman. A trans man is a trans man. A man is a man. There's a reason why there's words to describe these things because they're not the same thing. You can't come out and be like trans men are men and men are cis men. You can't do it. Okay. And you can try. And I'm going to say, don't know, don't care, wrong, move on. He goes, and here is Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks saying that trans people are never going to get an apology from them ever. LGBT plus people desperately need progressive cishet politicians and journalists' help. And this crew have just signaled that they intend to abandon them. Someone tweeted, how long until she issues an apology? I say 3 days. And Cenk said, I say never. Let's see who is right. I respect the Young Turks for standing up here. But let's just talk about cishet. That's a slur. It is a slur. And there's no question about it. You don't get to decide what is or isn't a slur, right? The point is, the offended group say, don't call me that. That's offensive. If you then say, don't care, I don't think it is, that's a slur. Like, there's a lot of words I can't say because people find them offensive. Let's talk about a racial slur for, Korean or Vietnamese people. Starts with a G. Is any white person mad if two white people say a slur about Koreans or Vietnamese people in their own presence? Why would they be? They're not Southeast Asian. What about if you called a Korean or Vietnamese person this slur? Would they be upset? Many would be. Thus, whether or not it's a slur is defined by the person who is being targeted with the terminology. That doesn't mean I think people shouldn't be allowed to say or use them. I think it's inappropriate, but I don't think it should be illegal or anything like that. I don't think you're a good person if you try to target someone with insults based on their race. So why is it that these people can use this word to target other people in a derogatory and prejudicial manner, and that's okay? You see what they've done? Anna Kasparian is a cis woman, but they are women. They're quite literally saying, we have a right to this word and you don't. Okay. I see where that's going. So, if the Young Turks want to keep playing these games, these politics, they can do whatever they want. I hope Cenk and the Young Turks lose 10,000 paying monthly members for doing this. I hope they do. And I'm not saying that to be mean, and I'm not saying it to wish them harm. I'm saying I hope they shed themselves of the evil cult members. And once they remove that revenue chunk from their business, they will be unencumbered. No chains. You see, before this, there was probably a fear. Hey, if we say something like that, we're going to lose a lot of money. Well, now they've lost it. So now they're going to be like, don't know, don't care. We'll just keep saying we want. And maybe these people can come back to the light. The Young Turks used to be pretty good. They really did. They weren't perfect. They were always fairly liberal and progressive, but then they went full cult. They were pro defund the police, then changed their mind. Good for them. Now they're saying this. Cenk Uygur also came out and said equity doesn't exist. That's a lie. I can't believe he doesn't know that. But he's saying we're in favor of equality of opportunity, not outcome. Respect. Say the right thing. I'll give you credit where it's due. So I will say this to Anna and Cenk. Good job. I respect it. Do more. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes. Stick around and I'll see you all shortly.